Time for Chevrolet Sportsnet Central update. Celtics fans may catch their first glimpse of Jrue Holiday when Boston tips off the preseason slate Sunday against the Sixers. And depending on whom you ask, Holiday in Celtics green is a wonderful sight.
In the 21 years of being here, this was one of the most energized, focus-driven, completely insanely connected groups.
They are going to win the championship. Did you like this trade, Cerrone?
Not really, because I thought it was a deal that they didn't have to make.
It means everything to us that you're here. You put us on your short list.
And I told Jrue when he went and got into Phil Pressey and almost made him quit coaching when he was guarding him, that made me so happy.
I can't. Celtics. I'm talking to the franchise. I'm talking to you kids out there. Try and keep it in your pants. Just a little bit.
You know, you get a drink at the bar and it's in a martini glass and it's right up to the top. And you got to be real careful because it's so full it's going to spill. That's my glass.
The way you all get so far ahead of yourselves, it doesn't help.
And I was on the plane yesterday, right, flying in here. I seen it on the bottom line and I dropped a big F-bomb, loud, right? And everybody's looking at me like, what's going on? What's wrong? I said, oh, the Celtics is traded for Jrue Holiday. Yes.
Never as good as they think they are. Oh, my God. Do you ever hear like one day at a time?
And I feel like the Boston Celtics right now are kind of assembling the Avengers.
Could Celtics Nation use just a little bit of cynicism?
This is Irving in the Daily Threat. For once, Eddie's not going to call me the negative one because I was in the positive side of that. Cerrone, though, you don't really need to make the trade. Cerrone Battle still here with us. Eddie House is here with us as well. Eddie, are the Celtics getting ahead of themselves? Is Felger right? Should they be taking it one game at a time?
No. What are we talking about? Why would you not be confident? Why would you not feel that you are the best team in the league when you've been knocking on the door and eventually you start adding these pieces that you feel they could put you over the top? There was a time when we were assembled in 2008, and I don't want to compare the teams and I want to talk about that, but I do have stories that are comparable. So in 2008, when we got together, we sat at Paul's house down in his basement. It was called, it was a different name. I can't say it on air. But we were in his basement and we were playing cards. And we said, there's no team that could beat us 4 games before we beat them 4 games. It's just not going to happen. And that's the mindset we had throughout. So you have to be confident.
But did you have that mindset publicly?
I mean, it was on us, though, and we embraced it. We embraced that pressure. We knew what we were up against. And this is the thing. I think that the team has to pivot from last year, they were the hunted. They have to be the hunters, even though they're still the hunters. I mean, they're hunted.
Cerrone, why did you think this was a trade the Celtics didn't need to make, and you were in the wah-wah thumbs down category of that little montage?
Well, I thought they were already good. I thought the Celtics were already a good team. I thought they were already a contender, and Vegas agreed they were the favorite before the trade. So I thought they were a good team. I didn't want them to give up their size. But with that being said, you should be excited. The ownership should be excited. The fans, nationwide, everybody should be excited. This is the best starting 5 in the NBA, and I don't think it's really close. And as far as, we're getting too far ahead of ourselves, people had the Miami Heat winning the championship before Dame was even traded. People had the Bucks. Oh, no one's beating the Bucks the minute that trade was made. So how come the same can't apply to this team, who I think have a better roster? And if you would have said after Game 7 last year, oh, don't worry, they're going to add Holiday and Porzingis and not lose Tatum and Brown, you would, man, that's a championship team, and you should be excited. And House is absolutely right. They should feel like they're top dogs. They should know they're the top dog and should let everybody else know they're the top dog.
So one of my biggest, I guess, frustrations or criticisms of this team the last few years is that the Jays, and then last year I think I would add Joe Mazzulla to this, kept making the same mistakes over and over again. I kept waiting for them to learn their lesson and figure out how to be a championship duo and a championship team. Do you think they're finally over that hump?
Well, you do it now with talent. There's going to be less double teams. There's going to be less traps. Let's see a team like Miami play that zone against this team with the Porzingis standing out there, stretching the floor in the post where they're switching Lowry down on Rob Williams. Can't do that anymore. And you can't load up on the Jays now. Now, if one of those guys have an off night, you have other pieces to pick up the slack. This team is loaded. They're deep. They have a lot of size. And I think the two Jays are going to really eat off this because of the way they're going to be covered the rest of the season.
Eddie, you've been around this team. You were at the Shamrock Gala last night. We're going to get to it in a second. You had a little three-point contest with Paul Pierce. You've been around them in the gym. What have you seen that stands out to you maybe as being different with this team this year versus last year when you were also around them?
I just think that their basketball IQ got a whole lot better than it was last year. I look at Jrue Holiday and the way he's going to be able to put these guys in position, and he's a facilitator. I think he's an organizer. He's one of the most underrated players for like the last 7 years. That a lot of people, that basketball minds and hoop heads, we talk about him, but everybody else on the outside really doesn't talk about Jrue Holiday and give him exactly the credit that he deserves for what he does. He's a great organizer, a great defender, and his IQ on both ends of the floor is amazing. I watched yesterday in practice. Peyton was guarding him and really putting a lot of pressure on him, dribbling up the basketball. He hit Porzingis and like kind of calmly just like stood straight, knowing that Peyton was going to deny him, and then his cut. Got the ball, dropped a dime, and a dunk. It's just the small things. It's very small, but I see it. It's glaring. We're a total different team with him at the helm. I think that Derek White did a great job, but I think he's a better organizer than Derek White. And, again, there's going to be problems for teams defensively trying to figure out how they're going to stop this team because it's so many weapons. And if you do double, who are you going to come off of?
Well, I wonder how hard it was for defenses to stop Eddie and Paul Pierce the last couple of days because you were at Celtics practice this week. As I mentioned, you had a little OG three-point contest with Paul Pierce. Who won?
I got P, but actually we both lost. To keep it real, we lost to one of the coaches, Jermaine. He a youngster, so we lost to the young. We thought it was going to be an 08 thing, but at the end of the day, I got to get better shooting shape. My left leg is a little sore because I haven't been in the gym. I got to get back in the gym, and this is part of it. But I'm gonna be shooting tomorrow. I got Jermaine tomorrow. I told him yesterday at the gala, I'm coming for him, for sure.
You're coming for him.
I'm coming for him.
I mean, Eddie, you're in your 40s now. You just got to do a little lifting. You got to do a little. You got to do some mobility work.
I can't just jump off out the couch and go try to shoot somebody who's been shooting all season long. I got to put some work in, and okay, it's all good. But I did. What? I got to the finish line first. I just didn't finish the deal.
What was it like hanging out with Paul Pierce in that environment again? He's been around Jason Tatum a lot this offseason. Have you seen that rub off on these guys?
Well, the thing with P is not going. He's there as he said a helping ear. Not a helping hand. He's not going to be trying to talk to these guys. If they come to him and asking questions, he's definitely going to help. But we're all here. Everybody that's going to be coming back, we're here just for support. We want to support this team. We want to be there for them. Like the other guys, JoJo Whites were there for us. All this Havlicek comes back. With Bill Russell, God bless the dead, he was coming back. Just everybody. Tommy Heinsohn was always around. God bless his soul as well. But we want that. We want to it's our turn now. It's our turn to give back and pay it forward.
All right, well, on the Celtics landing holiday, our Sox insider, John Tomasi, who's also a big green teamer, wrote this. Robert Kraft and John Henry once vied for the title of Boston's best owner, but they can duke it out over a distant second place because the guy you want running your team is Wyc Grousbeck. The Celtics are showing the Patriots and Red Sox how championship-driven is done, not with lip service and odes to sustainability and cap management, but by bleeping going forward. Cerrone, are the Celtics the only Boston team right now that you feel are hell-bent on winning and doing everything to get there?
Yeah, and I think it's been that way since when House and those guys showed up back in 08. I mean, things didn't work out well, but you look back, they went after the Gordon Haywards. They went after Kyrie, Kemba Walker, Al Horford. They made moves to get Isaiah Thomas in. They've tried to do things, and they've gotten close. They've just fell short to Giannis and LeBron James and Steph Curry. But this organization they've been going for it, and they found a way to rebuild and stay competitive at the same time. And I can't say the same for the other three teams in the city.
Eddie, we've talked on this show before that, managers, coaches, owners, general managers, there's been sort of this friendly competition. I think they've all pushed each other to get better. But does that matter to athletes? Like, do you look when you're playing here, and you were playing here during the heyday of the Celtics were winning a title, the Bruins were on their way, the Red Sox were coming off a World Series in 07, and of course the Patriots were right there. Like, did that fuel you guys? Does being in this position fuel the Celtics to be the team that's going to be number one instead of the Patriots or the Red Sox?
I don't know if it's fueling this team, but I do know that in 08 we were the team that we were like, well, everybody else is winning. We got to do something. We have to. But it wasn't because we were trying to live up to we were just wanting to give Boston a championship on the NBA side of things, because the Patriots were dominating. The Red Sox were coming off the World Series, like you said, and the Bruins were constantly competing. So we definitely wanted to come out and say, and I think that year we got close to winning all three. I believe we got very close to winning, because they were undefeated. The Patriots was,
yes,
and they
lost
that Super Bowl. I'm not sure what the Red Sox did, but we were trying to get that trifecta there. But, we took care of our business, but they were the standard. They were the standard, and we wanted to create that new culture. And I think that's something that we did. Coming into 2008, I think the culture definitely changed and all the energy shifted.
Cerrone, does this shame the Patriots and the Red Sox, the Celtics doing all of this and people gushing over it? Does it shame them into action?
Well, you're hearing rumors about Ohtani, so I think the answer is yes. I mean, you have to do something now, because attention is currency in 2023. You get more attention, more eyes, it equals money. So you have to do something to get people to pay attention to you. Now, if this Celtics team goes out and plays with that hunger and fight and wins a championship, you're going to see the other owners scramble for sure.